Okay, let's. Oh God, the hiccups. You know what? We're just gonna ignore it because I have so many notes on the prisoner. It's more than that. I think it's 4 pages um, of notes on the prisoners, the movie. Um, and it took me a while to get to this point where I could sit down and record this. Um, but now I decided after stream, let's just fucking do it. Let's just do it. Oh God, I'm hiccuping, I'm sneezing, I need a burp. But we're gonna ignore it because I have hot chocolate. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna talk about the movie. Um, so first of all, the movie was got chosen to for me to watch through Patreon, and then I have like a month after to like make a to watch it and make a video on it, just my thoughts basically. And so I watched it right after it was recommended to me, or like I was told what movie to watch. And I really liked it. I had some thoughts about it. I have some thoughts about it, but I I liked it. It had like a little twist that I didn't see coming right away, but that I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. Some characters annoyed me, but you know, we're gonna get into all of this. So of course, I have a lot of notes here, and they overwhelm me to look at because there's so much. What is that? Yeah, oh, actually, there's like 4.5 pages of notes. That's even better. But I wanna let's just talk about the first scene. The first scene is father and son. I have a page here with all the names, with all the characters. um, Ralph, the son, with Keller Dover, the father. They were out hunting, and then after they were hunting, they they were in the car, and then Keller says something like, "You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta get things done for like your survival and whatnot." And I was like, "Oh wow, that's like you're going really hard on this." For it to be like the second scene in the whole movie. Uh, because in my head, I hadn't read anything about the movie. I like going in blind, but I had read father loses kid and does everything he can to like get them back, right? And so when I was watching this, I thought this is a conversation that the son is later on going to need. Like the first scenes are with the dad and the son. So the movie must be about the son going missing and needing to hear those words and remember them to survive while the dad is looking for it. But I was wrong. I was very wrong, and it bothers me. It bothers me because not only does the son barely say anything throughout the whole movie, but it's just like kind of a random fact that Keller, the dad, is a survivalist. It's explained a lot, and people mention it, like, "Oh, he's a survivalist," but I don't know. It's not like a thing. Like people view survivalists in a certain type of way that I might have missed because it looked like they were talking about it, or like, "Oh yeah, he's a survivalist," as if it meant something. But in my head, I'm like, "Oh yeah, he makes precautions," and I don't think about it in any way. But it was just so random. One, that they had that conversation about surviving, and then Ralph not ever needing to use it for anything, but also the fact that Keller never has to survive much. Like he does, but like what? I don't understand how that's the first scene, and that bothered me. Like for weeks after I saw it, I was like, but why? Why is that the first scene? Anyway, I don't want to get stuck on that, so I'm gonna move on. Um, I in order to like root for the in order to root for the movie and like be excited for it, like I kind of want to agree with some of the characters or at least feel like I'm rooting for someone. Which was a bit difficult. In the script because I downloaded the script, the manuscript. It's easy to find. You just look up Prisoners script and then Prisoners by Aaron Gusikowski. Sorry. Uh, God. And it shows up as a PDF file and I downloaded it and I like marked different things because I was curious about like what they were saying there and some things. In the script, Loki, the Detective Loki, is not portrayed, or I didn't get the same impression of him there as I got in the movie. First of all, like the scene, the first, oh god, stop hiccuping, dude. The first scene with Detective Loki was him talking to a a waitress, and oh, this is okay. I don't know what to do. Detective Loki was talking to a waitress and oh my god. And it was like no purpose behind their conversation at all. I was like, oh, they're flirting. Is this gonna give us like insight into what kind of person Loki is? But that side of him is just not brought up again. For real. Like it's just not brought up again. And he's so confusing. The way that he acts, like I like Jake Gyllenhaal's acting. It's just the character confuses me because he's very aggressive, and I'm like, bro, calm down. Why are you like? You don't need to be yelling right now. You don't have to barge through the door. You can just, what if the kids are there? You don't want to scare them. Oh fuck. Anyway, he confused me a lot, and he was like back and forth. I think it's like 5 different times in my notes that I was like, oh, I think I was wrong about Detective Loki. Oh, actually, no, that was wrong. I was right. Oh no, I'm wrong. Oh wait, hold on, I'm confused. That happened so many times. Um, because I couldn't tell whether or not he was like making an effort or not. Like, first of all, I couldn't tell if he was looking in the right direction in terms of the investigation, but I also just couldn't fucking tell whether or not he was making an effort. Like, I think he is. He was, definitely. And he was doing a good job. And he was just not having the police force on his side, I think, maybe. Or his boss, the captain. Also, there's a conversation in the script, I don't remember it now, but it's something about people getting laid off and something about him wanting to move to a different section of police work and then the captain not wanting him to do it. Um, and so maybe somehow that is related to him like nailing this case or not. I'm not sure, but I didn't really see that in the movie, or I didn't comprehend it at the time. What was I saying? About him doing like if he was doing his work or not? Because like you have the dad Keller who's like he's looking into his own things. He's doing his own thing. That's what the movie is like about, pretty much, I guess. Uh, but then yeah, that's a whole different topic. Detective Loki, it was just yeah, he's a flawed character. Like not only with the rage and whatnot, um, but he's a flawed character. He makes mistakes. And honestly, there was one mistake that's like kind of battle for everything, and I'm like, ah, no fucking way. That no way you did. Well, hold on. How did that happen? And I liked it. I liked it. I like it when characters do stuff like that. Not when they're annoying, not when they're like, nah, sometimes it's just not working out, but this time it did. And if you watch the movie, he makes some mistakes and he makes multiple few mistakes of like communication and whatever. Some of them are stupid and it's just in the script, I think, because they needed it to work that way. Uh, so they just made him whatever. Uh, yeah, but otherwise, I think he's a great. I like his character, but sometimes he just confused me because I couldn't really tell what he was up to. Then you have the other detective, the dad, who's like on a fucking rampage or something. Like, what the fuck? He's messed up. You can't defend anything he does, or I can't. Like in the start, I was like, yeah, you need to do something, and then I'm like, please don't do anything. Please don't do anything, dude. Keller, dude, calm down, calm down. Don't do anything. I think he went to jail in the end. Spoiler. But like he does messed up things. It just gets worse and worse. Like whatever you think he might do, he goes further. And it's so hard to like root for him. And then you have the other family. I'm just ranting, Ariana. Oh god, I'm just ranting. But that's a good thing. At least I'm talking, right? The last few times I sat down to record this, I just wasn't talking, and I sat here like, what do I do? What do I do? Anyway, the other family, the Birch family, that like basically, uh, Dover family, that is Keller and Grace Dover with their son Ralph, had the little girl, um, forgot her name, went missing suddenly. And the other girl that also went missing together with this girl, Anna, her name was Anna, and the other girl was Eliza. Both of them went missing, so the two families were kind of in it together, but again, not really at all. In different ways. You'll get it if you watch it. But basically, Franklin, the dad of Eliza, like I got the impression in the beginning like Franklin and Nancy were gonna be like the chill family, or not chill. Obviously, they're gonna care, but like they're not gonna be the ones to take action. I think that's how they meant to portray the families. Like Keller will be the one taking action. That's how he is portrayed, and then Franklin and Nancy are more like, oh, they can do whatever they want, right? And then obviously they care about their daughter getting missing, but like, yeah, it's a whole different level. Um, and so Franklin and Nancy, they like help him a little bit, but then they don't help him, and then help him, and they're like, uh, yeah, yeah. Franklin is I liked his character actually, because he seemed to have, some moral behind it, and you kind of knew where his moral compass was steering. Unlike Keller. And then you have the Grace and Nancy, right? The Grace Dover and Nancy Birch, the two mothers. Um, this is a very sexist movie, I think. That's maybe that's a bold statement. I think it is. The women are just fucking useless, and there's just screaming and being hysterical and like, oh, and the dads are like going to action, and the men are doing things, and yeah, dude, I don't know what to say about that. Grace, um, the Dover mom, useless throughout the whole movie, just useless. She does nothing, and she confused me at the start. I'm like, wow, or what are you thinking about this? Like, I feel like you're gonna be like a strong mother. You're gonna fight to get your daughter back. When I tell you that's the opposite, that's the opposite. That's the opposite. And Nancy, she does take some action. Um, but yeah, we don't really see her that much. Do I have anything else to say? I'm just petty. I'm feeling petty over the fact that Ralph, the son, he had the first scenes, and he seems like such an important character, and even in the way that he like witnessed things that were like crucial in finding out like things about in in the investigation, and he seems so crucial in the start, and then he just like stops appearing, or like he doesn't say anything. It's like, what the fuck? He seemed so important, and then just doesn't say anything. Um, yeah. Okay. Keller, Loki, Nancy. Okay, yeah. Grace, Franklin, and Ralph. Oh, my headset turned off. And Anna and Elisa. Okay, got it. Joy? Oh, Elisa is the big sister. Oh, sorry. Joy was the girl that got kidnapped. Elisa. I'll actually, there was one scene with Elisa where I just fucking snorted. Like, that was really funny the way she was handling it. I don't, usually I wrote timestamps, but there's not like I have any. I want to find the timestamp, but maybe that's not important. I don't know. Basically, spoiler, I guess. It's not really a spoiler, but I thought it was funny because uh Eliza was home alone because mommy and daddy were out doing sketchy stuff. She was in the bathroom, and then mom and dad get home, and I shouldn't explain the joke, should I? Probably not. Anyway, it was really funny. She said something, and I was just like, "You handle that well. Actually, that gives you some credit, and it gives you some personality. Thank God. Thank God. At least you got a personality. That's good." Ralph doesn't. He's the son that has to support mommy. He doesn't have much of a personality. And then let's see. Who should I jump to next? I don't want to rant too much. Should I talk about the bad guys? Or actually, okay, yeah. Before I talk about the bad guy, I don't want to spoil anything, but I feel like now if I talk about these people, it'll be inevitable. So if you're wanting to watch the movie, I suggest you do it like before this point. Um, but basically, okay, I'll start. Go watch the movie if you haven't, if you don't want to get spoilers. But the portrayed villains, okay, Alex Jones and Bob Taylor. I don't know what to think. Like obviously they weren't the villains, they were victims, but the whole game, the whole movie, I just like what I was thinking like why are they putting the mentally ill people as villains? For real. Like if Alex is like completely delusional, he doesn't have the brain power to like think through anything, and he's obviously not either. He's a very good actor, he's super cunning, or he's just like he can't think straight. Like his brain doesn't work that well in that sense of like having coherent thoughts and understanding what is happening around him. And then you have Bob Taylor, who's like, poor fucking guy, confused or traumatized. You know, either or, literally. I'm sitting here thinking like, oh wow, why are they making the mentally ill people like? That's not even the whole story. That they're like the the victims. They're literally victims, and oh my god. But I don't disagree with it because in the end, I mean, rip as well. But in the end, it's figured out, and like I don't know. I don't blame them. I don't really blame them. I just thought it was funny during the movie, like while I was watching it before the ending. I was like, how are they making this decision? Okay, enough about that. Enough about that. I'm ranting. The real villain. The real villain. Spoiler. Holly. I think I could have seen this coming, I think. Um, but for some reason I didn't see it coming. Like until a certain point, right? You know, when you understand it. I thought I would have been able to see this. It's not obvious, but things add up. And like if I go when I went back to like look at certain scenes again, I was like, oh, stupid. Oh, wow. Because, like, I didn't see it at the time. And I'm not sure if I would have been able to see it by the way that it was, like, laid out to me. But they made sure, like, you could figure it out beforehand. But, yeah, props to you. That was pretty good. And there were some things about the story of certain characters that I was like, why are we even watching this? Like, why is this relevant? But I know that from what I've seen of Denis Villeneuve, one of the directors, I think there was a co-directing where there were two of them, or no, it was just Denis. Yeah, um, that things are on purpose. That's what I trust. If I watch a Denis Villeneuve movie, I feel like things are done on purpose. It's not like you just something random scene there, and it's not for a reason. Maybe some of them were. I don't know. But in this sense of the villain and everything leading up to that, I was like, oh, duh, at the end, because it made sense. It really made sense. Um, and honestly, props to that. I like that villain. She did the annoying thing, the pet peeve I have with like, oh, you're the bad guy. We find out, and then she's like, ha ha ha, yeah, I'm the bad guy. And then she starts talking in a way that's like, yeah, we get you're the villain. We get it. You don't have to make it so obvious now, just because we can see you. It's like, why is it like a trope, kind of like a character trait that villains just like they can't at all be who they portray or like who they are. Like you have a lady who's like this and this. That's her personality. And but then as soon as she like we like recognize that she's not, she becomes a whole different person because like apparently that's who she is. And I get it, but like, oh my god, we don't even get to see a hint of that before. Do we? Did we? Maybe? Oh god. I can't even think straight. Anyway, there were parts of the story that I was thinking back to. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes so much sense. Good, nice. Well, that's so satisfying when you think back on it. And it was the same. I was watching Arrival after my subathon, as a way of recovering, and it was so like I was left for days after watching Arrival. I was left for days thinking back to all the scenes, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh wow, true, oh my god. I love that movie. Highly recommend. Also, Denis Villeneuve, because we were talking during my subathon, we were talking about Denis a lot. Even watched some interviews with him. Um, because I like his work a lot, and I like just the way that he talks about movies and such. I think it will kind of. I'm probably gonna find the same feelings maybe about other directors if I went more in depth with them. But I just fell in love with Dune so much that I was watching um, all his like interviews, and I'm trying to find out like his thought process kind of because it's cool. And so actually, yeah, I noticed that when I was starting to watch this movie, because I knew it was directed by Denis, I was like, oh, what's that? What does that scene mean? What does that scene mean? What does that scene mean? And at the end, I was like, I guess. Like, no, not at the end, but like in the middle, I was just like thinking, maybe this is like before he started paying attention to that. It's not. I'm still confused about why Keller is like it's so adamant. It's so clear. It's so obvious and mentioned so many times that he's like a survivalist and why he has like things in his basement. But I still don't know why that was such an important detail. Again, that might be something I don't understand about survivalists in the US. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Um let's see. Let's see. Was there anything else? Hold on. I'm gonna look through my. Just hold a second, so I can look at my ending thoughts. Oh yeah. At the end, right? Um, things are like revealed and things kind of like make sense to me. But the most thing, the thing I was most happy about, like the ending, sort of like resolution wise, when you figure out something and you're like, oh yeah, okay, and then that put that to rest. Something that I think had a good resolution was Keller. And by the way that Loki was talking about it. And also, in the end, Loki just confused the shit out of me. And also, Anna was acting in a way that, like, is she confused? Like, she's a child actor at that point. Erin Gerasimovich, sorry for butchering that. Um, like, it's a child actor. Maybe that was something. I was thinking about that before as well. Usually I analyze child actors in a way of like, do they know what they're doing, or they're like tricked into playing that? Like, do they know? Anyway, that last scene where they had that conversation about Keller, or Grace and Loki had a conversation about Keller, and I was really happy when they had that conversation. I'm like, oh, because not all movies would have had that as like a thing that's mentioned, or like it would have been portrayed a bit differently. And I was really scared of this um because of the movie being like, oh, men protect the women, men find out what happened and they survive and they blah blah blah, they do action. I was really scared of what was gonna be like consequences for Keller. And if the movie was gonna like make him out to be a hero, which they kind of do, and that's a bit annoying, kinda. I wanted Loki to be the hero, but anyway. Um, I think it's good that that was at least mentioned in the end. That like, yeah, well, that makes me happy at least. I don't want him out on the road. I don't want him to be freed. Not, maybe someone just disagrees with him and he's gonna find out something on his own and then he's gonna go on a fucking rampage again. No thanks. No thank you. Okay, I'm looking at every character, trying to make sure I didn't miss anyone. There was something. Yeah, I mean, now that I'm thinking back, there were probably some scenes that like confused me, like why was that character and that character, but I don't think it's that important. Um, apparently there was some known actors. No, I don't know who these are. Anyway, I liked the movie, and I think I've been watching some like directors' dialogues and stuff on, just them having conversations between like directors and directors about their work, and I find that very like interesting to watch. Um, and I want to focus more on like the movies I watch being more like director focused. Like I want to make sure that I like a director and maybe watch more movies from them. I feel like that's a safe option, and like exploring their styles and stuff and understanding what style really is in that sense. Um, I love Denis Villeneuve, and I'm so excited for the next Dune movie to come out and whatever else he might have in the future. I need to watch Blade Runner. If, yeah, Blade Runner. I need to watch that too. Um, other than that, I don't really have anything else to add to this, I don't think. Hopefully, um, this doesn't disappoint the patron that paid for me to watch this movie, basically. Also, if you have a movie that you want me to watch, either you can convince me, you can do your very best to convince me to watch the movie. Maybe I'll have like, oh my god, yeah, that's a good idea and I'll watch it. But I think the better way to do it, because I have a lot to do, pay me. That sounds so horrible. But basically on Patreon, there's a tier that if you're on that tier, you can like once a month tell me a movie to watch and I'll make a video like this. Of course, I can't just like watch a movie anymore. I have to take notes. Hold on. There you go. Um but yeah. Actually no, that was wrong the way. That was the wrong way. Hold on. No, it wasn't. Wait, what? Oh wait, that's Prison Break. Hold on. I was going the wrong way. Here we go. And that page. Lots of notes, and then I have Prison Break notes too. Because this is episode 1 of Prison Break. Oh, I love it. It's nice though. It's nice. It's fun to look back to sometimes. So hopefully, I'm not promising, but I'm hopefully I can manage to like watch through Prison Break season 1 and then make a video on that. Just because started watching it, saw episode 1, and I was like, okay, it's kind of a legendary show, and I was just trying to watch the first episode to confirm whether or not it was, and I already noticed things to just like, yeah. There's so many things here that Prison Break really nailed that It's like when I was wondering why is Prison Break such a popular and actually like a show that so many love. Like if I talk to someone about shows, that's a show that they will mention. Um, I understand now. I'm in the middle of the season, I think, and I still need to watch the rest. Anyway, I don't really know where to end this. Bye.